Well, here we are on Christmas Day, and I always like to run an engine on this day, so I thought I'd run this 53 MM2. This is the old one, which has got a brass flywheel, or brass pattern flywheel, but made in Mamod. Very old one, never seen that design before, so it's obviously dates it bang on 53, still a flat base. I'm running this at my partner's flat because we're spending Christmas here. And you can see in the background you have a lovely shot of Plymouth. That there in the foreground is the Plymouth to Penzance main line, and behind it you can see over towards Central Park and Home Park football stadium. And we're here at the moment in the flat. It's a nice comfortable little flat, and my road is off down that way. That's where I live, just a few minutes down the road. And here we have the engine itself. Now I've oiled it up, I've topped up the burner. It hasn't got a plug on it for some strange reason. I think it should be green actually. You can probably just hear him just boiling up now. It is a little cold today, not as cold as it has been, so I'm not expecting a very long run. I haven't run this engine at all since I bought it 3 or 4 months ago, so I don't know how it's going to perform, so just bear with me. Still running now, it's been going for about 10 minutes now. Very good steam tie out, so I was expecting that safety valve to start blowing a bit, but it's going very well. One of the earlier type ones, it's got a slightly sort of indented sort of groove going around the circumference of it. I think there's a lot of variations in safety valve design. I'm not sure whether that wheel is just not straight on the shaft, or whether it's not actually centred up properly on the tub, which could be a manufacturing error, but you can actually see it going up and down. Interesting. Perhaps it's one of the early ones. I've never ever seen a hot brass stamped flywheel pattern but made in Mamod. I didn't think it ever existed until I picked this one up. I thought when I bought it that some comedian had actually painted it silver and was getting ready to actually strip it, and on closer inspection found that it actually was Mamod. And we all know from our Mamod history that they didn't actually start making Mamod flywheels till 1953. There's an overlap between the Mamod flywheels and the flat bases. So they were only made in this style essentially for a year before raised bases came in 54, and obviously all the flywheels by then were Mamod, although quite thick. So this has got all the same attributes as the brass one. It's got the square spokes, very small hub, quite narrow in width. Very, very curious. I'd love to know why they actually made this in Mamod. Perhaps they were testing production before they moved over to it, and used the same process they did for hot brass stamping as they did for Mamod. Maybe it didn't work quite as well. I'm sure some of our more sort of engineering background members can give me a better idea on the actual production process and the relative properties of brass and Mamod and how they behave in dies. Getting into its stride now, it's really running well. Quite cold actually standing out here filming this. People are wondering what the hell I'm doing talking to myself. You will also notice from this engine that it's got a copper boiler band, and the trunnion pivot on the actual cylinder is attached to the cylinder. So it's not an actual bolt that comes out. There's a small nut on the end that keeps it all in position. All sort of classic, sort of early or sort of late 40s, early 50s Mamod sort of construction traits. I noticed the crank on this one is the steel type, whereas some of them still around this time had sort of coppered or brass type ones, sometimes with Mamod etched into them or engraved into them. I think this is pretty much original, the paintwork. I suspect maybe the base has been repainted, but the inside of the chimney, the engine frame, all looks original, same as the actual flywheel. This has been going now 15 minutes, just over. There isn't a great deal of wind today, so it's running better than I thought it might have been.